Hello and welcome to Teleforum. I'm Jimi Miller, guest host. Oh, I'm so glad to be back. I got to tell you, it's been a long time. Eddie Crow is on vacation, enjoying himself somewhere, I'm sure, where it's nice and warm. And we're going to be rapping with the reps today. Now, I did a little bit of research, and Jim Marshall, District 14, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and if I get any of this wrong, please let me know. But Republican?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you're serving part of Beaver County. You're a member of the House since 2007.
Yes.
Correct? And legislator and from Beaver Falls High School.
Yes, sir.
So that's very nice. So we've got a hometown boy here in the House of Representatives, which is very nice. And we also have Joshua. Do I need to say the D?
Joshua D.
Joshua D. Kail. And he's from Ambridge High School. And he went to Community College of Beaver County.
That's Matsy.
That's Matsy.
That's Rob Matsy.
Oh, this is
Rob
Matsy. Oh,
Matsy's
see that? It says Joshua Kail. and I put it in the wrong place.
I grew up in the South Hills. My mother's from Center Township. She grew up there, Aliquippa area.
Okay.
And I went to Geneva College. I came back to Beaver County then. And then I to law school, came back and practiced law in Beaver for a while and ran for office.
That's what I thought. Okay, I just had the wrong paper.
That's all right.
So anyway, welcome. I'm glad to meet you guys and to be here. And I understand you just had another baby.
I did. Yeah, it's actually, what is today? Thursday?
Thursday,
I'm
yes.
a little bit, foggy.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Last Tuesday, on swearing-in day, actually, so my wife was due at the end of December, and this was, it was January 1st, January 2nd, starting to get a little bit, I'm getting sworn in on the 3rd. It was the 3rd, and the baby still hadn't come. And we were planning on bringing the whole family out to Harrisburg for swearing in. This is my 8th child, our 8th child. My wife and I's 8th child.
Going for a baseball team.
And, yeah, right. And and so, when the baby didn't come on the 2nd, I just looked at my wife and I said, listen, I have to go to swearing in day. If there's one day I have to be at, it's that. So if I'm going to go out there, I know we can't take the whole family with all the kids and stuff. My in-laws were at the house. I said, why don't you come with me? Mm-hmm. And there's a nice hospital in Harrisburg where if you go into labor, I'll be right there. And sure enough, on the turnpike on our way up, about a half hour out, she went into labor.
Oh, geez.
And we made it to Harrisburg around 12:38, I think is when we checked into the hospital. And we had Viana at 1:08 in the morning. So it worked out well. Didn't even check into the hotel.
That's quick.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
And everybody's doing well?
Everyone's doing great. Mom's doing great. The baby's beautiful. She's doing well. I'll tell you, it's funny. I've noticed this with a number of my children. The one that struggles the most, outside of, maybe me and my wife because we're not sleeping, but the one who struggles the most of the children is the one that used to be the youngest.
Oh, really?
And so I have a 2-year-old that was used to being the one that got most of the attention and stuff like that. And so she has been struggling and has become very clingy, especially to my wife. And so Evangelina is dealing with that process, but she's adjusting well. They're all adjusting well. The family's great. The daughter's great. My wife's doing well. So all good.
Great.
All good.
So you had the baby in Harrisburg?
In Harrisburg.
Now, how did that work?
So there was a hospital we went to, had the baby. Around 4 o'clock in the morning, I figured I would go and check into the hotel and see if I can get a couple hours of sleep because we had swearing in day the next, that morning. I checked in, but really it just turned into a place to shower, change, and get ready for work because I couldn't sleep. And then went straight to Harrisburg, and the swearing in festivities began, and that lasted till about 9 or so that night because of the unique situation. And then we came back to the hospital and just had some quality time with my daughter. So.
Well, when did you come back?
To Pittsburgh area, to this area. We came back, so would have been Wednesday.
Wednesday.
We did the 24-hour stay at the hospital. And my wife wanted to talk to, her doctors back here and stuff like that. And they did an amazing job in Harrisburg. They really did phenomenal. But it's still, you're always more comfortable with your own...
At home,
Yeah,
sure.
at home with people. So she wanted to get home as quickly as possible. So we talked to the doctors and everything checked out. And so they let us do that. And so Wednesday afternoon, we came home. That's when it was. Yeah, about a week from yesterday.
Okay, so you had the baby, and then you took a shower, and then
Was up all day.
was
Running around all day.
and then the circus started, I guess,
Yeah.
from what I'm understanding. And we can talk about that when we come back. Right now it's about 16 minutes after 9 o'clock, and we're going to take our first break right here. And you are listening or viewing, watching Rappin with the Reps, and we have Jim Marshall here, and we also have the new daddy, and John. We'll be back with these guys in just a minute right here on Beaver County Radio.
Insurance doesn't adequately describe what we sell. This is Bill Laughlin from Laughlin Insurance Agency. Sure, affordable insurance is the means that allow us to do it, but we really provide at the Laughlin Insurance Agency is peace of mind. It's true, worrying about risk can take the fun and joy out of almost everything. We see every day how having peace of mind can lead to more enjoyment, which, last time we checked, is a fairly priceless commodity. Make life more enjoyable. Visit LaughlinInsAgency.com.
Tune in every Saturday morning at 8:30 a.m. for another insightful edition of Living Well, a special segment on Beaver County Radio designed to help you enjoy the best, most fulfilling, and healthiest life possible. Hosted by Dr. Joseph Maroon and Jeff Boast, and presented by St. Barnabas. Living Well, Saturday mornings at 8:30. Right here on Beaver County Radio, WBVP Beaver Falls, WMBA Ambridge, along with 99.3 FM and 95.7 FM.
Wintertime is when performance matters the most. That's because water can turn to ice. This is the Aquaman of Beaver County, Jim Riggio from the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. Whether it's fighting off the evils of underground pipes freezing or taking an extra shift on the ice during a power play, me and my team know how to react when it's on the line. From sinks to rinks, if it needs water this winter, you know you can depend on the Aquamen and women of Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. Click bfwater.net.
Highmark Blue Cross, Blue Shield, and Allegheny Health Network are pleased to present a new show on Beaver County Radio called Heroes. Tune in every Saturday at 10 and Sunday at 12:30 for Heroes, a wonderful half-hour segment hosted by Jim Roddy that profiles many of the local heroes in this community. Click highmark.com for more information and then tune in for Heroes this Saturday at 10 and again Sunday at 12:30 on WBVP, WMBA, and 99.3 FM.
Here's a question that is very easy to answer. Would you rather be sold something or get professional help and advice that ultimately leads to a strategy that best suits your needs? Tom Young at First Consultants Inc. in Beaver has a unique approach that has won over the trust of even the most skeptical clients.
Everybody that's selling is looking for a profit. I focus on creating strategies that are in the client's best interest.
Now ask yourself this: what have you got to lose? The answer might be a fortune. Get financial strategies instead of a pitch about a product. Visit firstconsultantsinc.com or be a part of Tom Young's live simulcast presentation on the third Tuesday of each month beginning at 9:10 a.m. on Beaver County Radio and Facebook Live. All advisory services are offered through Prosperity Economics Partners, LLC, a federally registered investment advisor. Prosperity Economics Partners, LLC is in no way affiliated with First Consultants Incorporated, nor is First Consultants Inc. a registered investment advisor.
Hey, it's time to wake up, Beaver Valley. Hi, this is Pastor David Grove from the Church of the Redeemed of Beaver Valley. After over 2 years on the air, it seems that some of you still cannot get up in time. So I've got good news. Wake Up Beaver Valley is moving to a new time, now airing from 9 to 10, this and every Saturday morning. It's time to wake up and turn our hearts back to the cross of Jesus Christ. So I invite you to wake up early this Saturday. To find out more, it's Wake Up Beaver Valley, Saturdays from 9 until 10 a.m. on Beaver County Radio. God bless you.
Now entering our 75th year of serving Beaver County. You're listening to 99.3 FM, 95.7 FM, 1230 WBVP and 1460 WMBA. Part of the St. Barnabas Radio Network.
And right now the time is about 20 minutes after 9 o'clock. It's January 12th. We're going to have some rain off and on today here in the Beaver County area. And you're listening to Beaver County Radio. We're doing Rappin' with the Reps. We have Joshua D. Kail, who just had his 8th baby, told us that story, and also Jim Marshall. Now, we left off with the circus, I guess we could say. My understanding of what happened with Mark Rossi, is that correct? Mm-hmm. Mark Rossi? Okay, with Mark was they were going to swear him in as Speaker of the House. However, it was determined beforehand by somebody that he was going to change his party from Democrat to Independent. Do I have that correct?
Yes, it was, I think, probably happened 3 o'clock in the afternoon on swearing-in day. It wasn't pre-planned out days ahead, but we were just trying to find someone that could serve from the middle. We really didn't want the fringes to serve as Speaker, and it came down to Mark.
How did that happen? Did you know about it?
So how it came about was within our own caucus, there wasn't enough votes to put a Republican speaker up, quite frankly, just to be completely candid with you. And that was indicated by procedural votes and other mechanisms that go through, and I don't want to get into the minutia of that. But we were in a situation where we could not put up our own speaker because we had one of our members voting with Democrats. And so in order to prevent somebody from going up that they wanted, we found this individual who committed to switching to Independent, committed to hiring Republican staff and Democrat staff, committed to governing in a way that was going to be a shared power arrangement, and wanted to have a transformative effect on the politics that we see in Harrisburg and D.C. and try and be more of an adult in the room. So that offer became attractive when you look at it in the context of we don't have the ability to put the person that we want in. So we got to pivot and have an audible on the fly. And that's what it was. Jim's right. And so we took that pivot. We made that decision. Unfortunately, within about 24 hours, it became apparent that there was a breakdown in what the arrangement was or is, and I hope that the Speaker Rossi can come around to the arrangement, but it does not look like he is holding up his end of what he promised. There's a op-ed in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette yesterday about it, saying like you need to start following through with what you said. And it wasn't like he just said these things to a couple of people in an office. He went up to the rostrum and in his remarks promised not just this body, but promised the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania that this is what he was eyeing to do. This is what he was looking to do. We got 2 years. There's time to recover, but we need to see action, and we need to see it now.
Let me ask you this. What advantage is there, just so you're explaining it, of him changing from Democrat to Independent?
For me, it really isn't actually changing his registration. I think he could have done, he said he was going to work for the people and not caucus with either Democrats or Republicans. Personally, I think he could have done that without switching. I think that changing into an independent was attractive to some of our caucus in order to get the vote. But I really think that that's not the entirety of it. I think that if he does work for the people and he does have a schedule, then he can serve well. I just think he missed an opportunity when we had a special session for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday this week. And on Monday, we were there all day on the floor waiting for him to begin the session, and he delayed and delayed and delayed until 7:30 that night.
Oh my.
7:45.
7:45 was the last call, and then he said Tuesday and Wednesday are canceled. It's a missed opportunity, and the fact that what he's registered, Democrat, Independent, Green Party, whatever, to me was not as relevant as just getting the job done.
I do think that I understand what Jim's saying. Where I would push back a little bit, I think the relevance of it is it's a show of good faith that he's actually going to do what he says he's going to do, because that was the commitment he made. He said from the rostrum that I'm going to be the first in history elected speaker, independent speaker, right? Now, he could not have been saying the first person in history that wasn't caucusing with Republicans or Democrats and becoming speaker, because there was a gentleman in 2007 that maintained his registration as a Republican but didn't caucus with either side, named Denny O'Brien, that did a similar type of thing. So he said the very first, making history very first. Now, he also said to many of us beforehand that he, in fact, will be switching parties. The fact that he's not, I understand from a mechanical standpoint, doesn't really change much so long as he doesn't caucus with one side or the other. However, it's a show of good faith, and not just to us, but to everybody that he said that to from the rostrum, not just to the body, but everyone that was watching on television. And if he is going to operate, I mean, he needs to operate in good faith. And that's where we're at right now. We're waiting for him to begin the process. Now, granted, this came about. It was not something that was known even for him. And so there's a lot that you have to learn as far as the mechanics of the position. There's a lot of different things that you got to get used to of how things operate. It's not as simple as just going up there and banging a gavel and, you know, getting everything in order. Maybe a little bit of patience is warranted. However, you can change your registration within 20 seconds on your phone.
Yes.
And that's why the other stuff that you can do is, that's important. It's more important that he follows through with what he said he was going to follow through on the other stuff. But if you could just get on your phone and signal to not just us, not just the Democrats, and not just the people in the House, but the entire Commonwealth, that you're going to follow through and be true to your word, that would be helpful for us to build some credibility going forward.
Credibility is a good word, because if he says he's going to do something in the beginning right now and then he doesn't do it, how can you trust him moving forward? It would have to be in the back of your minds and make you wonder, and we can talk about that a little bit when we come back, but we've got to take a break for news. You're listening to Rappin' with the Reps. We have Jim Marshall, and we also have Josh Kail here on Beaver County Radio, WBVP and WMBA.
Children are the future, and your future career begins at Life Steps Early Education Center, hiring child care assistants and preschool teachers for full-time, part-time, or substitute positions. Life Steps offers 100% paid health, dental, and vision premiums for full-time staff, making a difference in the lives of children for nearly 100 years. Call Life Steps today at 724-283-1010 or visit lifesteps.net. That's lifesteps.net to find out more. Life Steps is an equal opportunity employer.
It's always the right time to shop the Hopewell Shopping Center, no matter what the season, no matter what the reason. It's truly your neighborhood shopping place with such a large variety of businesses that offer food, shopping, fine dining and quick serving restaurants, personal services, and recreation. The Hopewell Shopping Center will be your one stop for everything you need whenever you need it. Just click on beavercountyradio.com, the Hopewell Shopping Center merchant directory, for a complete look of merchants today, and get shopping at your neighborhood shopping place, the Hopewell Shopping Center.
Beaver County Radio's news source, 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and streaming at beavercountyradio.com. Here's Curtis Walsh.
Good morning. We can expect showers today, mainly after 10 a.m. with a high of 53. We'll have a complete Beaver County radio weather forecast after this look at news. The Central Valley Cheerleaders won their district's first championship. Here's Beaver County Radio News correspondent Sandy Giordano with more.
Heather Shumafosky is the Central Valley head coach for the cheerleaders, and it was announced at Wednesday night school board work session. The overall competitive spirit championship award event was held for WPIAL 2A at Hemphill High School on Saturday, January 7th, 2023. The squad qualified to compete in Hershey on Friday, January 27th and Saturday, January 28th for the PIAA title in District 7. School board members at Wednesday night's work session congratulated the cheerleaders for winning the first championship in school history. This is Sandy Giordano reporting for Beaver County Radio.
The Cornerstone of Beaver County, a nonprofit organization dedicated to preventing and ending homelessness in Beaver County, joins Beaver County Continuum of Care and local social service partners in coordinating the 2023 Point-in-Time Homelessness Survey in Beaver County. Local survey efforts are part of an annual national survey that counts individuals experiencing homelessness on a given night. This year, TCBC and other partners will work with the Beaver County COC to survey individuals experiencing homelessness on the night of January 23rd into the morning of January 24th. The survey will capture a count of homeless individuals during the designated time, as well as demographics and other data valuable to improving local and national programming to prevent and end homelessness. A dispute over the priorities of dealing with workers in essential services took place at the county courthouse. Matt Durzik explains the details from Wednesday's work session.
At the commissioners' work session on Wednesday, District Attorney David Lozier came forth with a request for the commissioners to consider handling the finances of the heart and lung gap for certified officers in training in Beaver County.
What I'm looking for is authority to work with the solicitors to draft a new generation of agreements for the Anti-Drug Task Force and the ESU to add a paragraph that would state that the county would cover that 1/3 heart and lung gap for an officer injured on an operation during training.
But Commissioner Jack Manning spoke in reluctance about Lozier's suggestion.
We have a lot of health and safety things happening in Beaver County that I think have higher priority for our attention than the ESU and the heart and lung thing. I'll just leave it at that without getting into details, but I'm going to talk about later about emergency response for ambulances and things that we've been talking about for a while.
Audio from the work session was courtesy of the Beaver County Commissioners. From the county courthouse, I'm Matt Durzik for Beaver County Radio News.
Sandy Giordano reports Beaver County District Attorney David J. Lozier recused himself from the Kenneth Vineyard case because the officer involved in the investigation is a part-time employee of his who works for the SWAT team. The Attorney General's press office reported last Friday that they have received and accepted a referral on the case, and there is no update at this time.
Here's the Beaver County forecast on 95.7 and 99.3 FM. Along with 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and streaming at beavercountyradio.com.
Rain showers today, mainly after 10 a.m., with some patchy fog lasting until noon. We'll have a high of 53. Showers likely tonight, mainly before 1 a.m., going down to a low of 34. A slight chance of rain and snow showers tomorrow, with otherwise cloudy skies and a high near 37. Mostly sunny for the weekend, with a high near 34 on Saturday and a high of 40 on Sunday. Here on this Thursday, January the 12th of 2023, we've got cloudy skies and a temperature of 46 degrees at 9:35. That's a look at the news for now. I'm Curtis Walsh on 99.3 FM, 95.7 FM, 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and streaming live around the world at beavercountyradio.com.
The views and opinions expressed on WBVP and WMBA are those of the participants and host. They are not necessarily the viewpoint of WBVP and WMBA, its staff, management, and advertisers. Thank you for listening to WBVP and WMBA.
It's 9:35. I'm Jimi Miller, guest hosting for Eddie Crow, who's on vacation, enjoying some warm weather somewhere, I'm sure. And We are expecting some rain off and on today here in the Beaver County area. And today, of course, is January the 12th. It's a Thursday, and you're listening to Beaver County Radio and Rappin with the Reps. And we have Jim Marshall with us, and Jim is with District 14.
Correct.
And we also have Joshua Kail from District 15. I forgot the D, huh?
That's all right. D stands for delivers.
For delivery, there you go.
That's what I told his wife, and they both deliver in Harrisburg.
Oh, there you go. I like that. That's good.
I think the D is for daddy, though. So.
Yeah, daddy, 8 times.
That's
My
true,
goodness,
too.
you got your hands full.
Yeah, that's for sure.
My goodness. So we left off with, we were talking about what happened with Mr. Rossi on this special election. And a little bit of chaos dealing with him changing from Democrat to independent. And he's not doing that. And credibility was what we were talking about. And credibility, I think, is a very good word for this because, I mean, if this guy's telling us he's going to do something, and then from the get-go he doesn't do it, how can you really rely on him going down the road?
That's a major problem, and it's something that we're dealing with and dealing with now. And there's still time. There's still time for him to do that. It doesn't take long to switch your registration and to start following through with staffing from both parties and all the things he promised in his remarks when he got to the rostrum. So there's still the ability to follow through with it. There just hasn't been those steps taken thus far. That's all.
And it seems like one of the first things he did was call a special session, if I'm not mistaken. And my understanding was it was something about sexual abuse going back 50 years was one of the items you were going to be talking about?
It was an item that's near and dear to Speaker Rossi. It's something he's been working on for a number of years. We actually had passed it in a previous session, but Department of State had failed to advertise it that it was going to be on the ballot. So that was the problem, that the voters didn't have the opportunity to make a decision on that because of a failure in the previous administration. So I know it's important to him. I give him the benefit of the doubt that he stalled, and I'm hopeful that he can get this through this month.
So what happened? Did you guys, that didn't pass, evidently.
Well, in the past, like I said, it passed the House and Senate, but the Department of State, it was just a mistake on their part, failed to advertise it. And that caused it not to be on the ballot.
There's an administrative error that screwed up the whole process, and so now we got to pass it again.
We have to pass it again.
And we voted for, what, twice now?
Probably, and the Senate just passed it this week.
Yeah.
So it's ready, it's teed up. We could go back today, we could go back next week. We could just move that Senate version and go on with it. It's up to the Speaker now.
Okay. And Jim and Josh did agree to take phone calls if anybody wants to call in. The number's here, 724-774-1888 and 724-843-1888. Was there anything else that he wanted to talk about, or just did he call you back just for that one thing?
Well, they called us back for that one thing and any other constitutional amendment that could call it. That's the rules on special elections, is whatever the scope of the special is, or other constitutional amendments for consideration. Right now, where we're at in the process is the very beginning of when you have a one side or the other that has a governing majority and there's a clear-cut speaker. What usually happens is there's a speaker's vote, and then immediately thereafter there's a vote on the rolls. And it just happened in the U.S. House after McCarthy got it immediately. Well, it ended up being Friday night or Saturday morning, and then Monday they ended up voting on the rolls. But the rolls follow immediately, and the rolls, the rules are extraordinarily important for us because that's what determines how committees are organized. That's what determines what happens with bill. The actual nuts and bolts of legislating are wrapped up in these rules. And so we are not at the point yet where we have an agreed on set of rules. Now, our caucus, we have enough votes for the rules that we have been proposing for a number of weeks now. However, we got to go to the floor and have a day in session in order to vote on those rules. And the reason that's so important is you can't even have committee hearings. You can't consider bills. Bills can't be introduced or referred until you have those rules. So that's what we're waiting for. We need a day of session so that we can go to the House floor and have a transparent discussion on what the rules are and take a vote on it, get rules together, and start doing the people's work. We were elected to do a job, and right now, because of this delay, we don't have the capability or ability to do that job by taking votes and things of that nature. So that's the frustration. There's things that need to get done. There's people are struggling in this Commonwealth in many different areas, whether it's with inflation, whether it's with utility bills, whether it's with energy costs, and we have ideas and solutions for it. But right now, we don't have the ability to actually have a committee meeting and discuss those solutions. So that's the frustration with what's happening.
Do you think that'll be coming up anytime soon?
I sure hope.
I'm sure.
I sure hope.
And I understand we do have there's a dial tone. Okay, I thought we had a caller, but I guess they either got disconnected or went away.
I'm here.
Oh, you're here. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. All right, we do have a caller on the line, and you are on the air with Jim and Josh. How are you?
Hey, good, and thank you for serving, and thank you guys, especially you, Josh, who had a baby. Going to have to maybe make her a politician now. And maybe the first president, maybe woman, maybe sooner than that. But I wanted to ask a question, though. What about the special elections coming up? Where's your opinion on that? I think DeLuca died over there, and it's supposed to be scheduled for February 7th, and then the other two positions have moved to higher office. Are you for all three, or are you guys for just one, and then one in May? And I'll hang up and listen to your response. Thank you guys for serving. Jim, thanks for also having these guys on the radio station. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for the call.
Thanks. So yeah, the question was there's special elections, and basically that there's 3 seats in Allegheny County. Austin Davis ran for the House and for Lieutenant Governor. Summer Lee ran for the House and Congress, and unfortunately Tony DeLuca passed right just before the election in November. So those seats all need filled. They're all 3 in Allegheny County. As soon as they're scheduled and noted, that it will happen, whether it's February 7th or a date certain. They'll be all the same day.
Oh, they will all be the same day?
Well, there's still litigation going on that. Well, it looks like that's what it will be. However, what we know for certain at this point is the DeLuca seat will be February 7th. The other 2 seats, there's push and pull on whether that's going to be February 7th or the May primary. So those seats for Republicans are not easy seats. That doesn't mean they're not winnable seats. But the one seat's in Braddock, the other seat is in McKeesport, and the other seat is predominantly Penn Hills. Not traditionally Republican strongholds. Mm-hmm. With that being said, it's a special election. And it's a small type of seat. What I mean is not that many votes are going to win this election. You're talking maybe 4,000 or 5,000 votes potentially if turnout is what it has been traditionally in specials. So we have candidates in all 3. We have strong candidates in all 3. All 3 of those candidates are going to have some level of support. We will make sure they have some level of support. They're out there, they're knocking on doors, they're talking to voters. And again, when it's the electorate is that size of number, you never know what could happen. And we've seen special elections where with the Connor Lamb, Rick Saccone special election, where it was a big upset. And you've seen upsets across the United States in special elections because of that interesting quirk. What makes these special elections so interesting and why people are talking about it, because the gravity of them. Right now, the House Democrats have 99 seats because of the 2 resignations. It would have been 101 to 101. But then the 2 resignations happened. And of course, legislator Tony DeLuca, who passed away right before, they would have been at 102, 101, had he not passed away, and the resignations wouldn't have happened. So the majority, essentially, if in order for the Democrats to maintain the majority, they have to keep all 3 of those seats.
Okay.
Now, again, all 3 of those seats trend very heavily for Democrats. So it's a bullish proposition in that regard, just objectively looking at the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
But we are still going to put up a showing there. We still have 3 good candidates there, and we are working, and we'll continue to work. And it's something that with a special election, you just never know. And we are looking to compete at least in 1 or 2 of those seats. And it's going to be a lot closer than people think. It will be because of the circumstance and because we have good candidates.
Great. My understanding, too, from the caller was you're talking about maybe 2 separate dates or 2 separate...
It's in litigation. I mean, it would make sense that if we were all the same date, they're all in Allegheny County, I think you would get better turnout. But as Josh said, it could be in the regularly scheduled primary in May. It could be. But we'll have to see what the courts decide.
It could be 2 of them could be in May. I believe the February 7th, the Luca seat is firmly set there.
Oh, okay.
I think. I mean, the best case scenario for specials, generally speaking, and I'm not going to make an official statement on behalf of my caucus or anything like that, but generally speaking, it is better and it's more efficient when they are with other already scheduled elections. So like primaries or generals, or even though it's a municipal primary where it's not, no one else from the legislature or from Congress is going to be on the ballot. The resources, the poll workers, the people coming in to actually, run the mechanics of an election are already scheduled to be there, and they're already getting paid to be there, and they're already. So when you don't do that, you're duplicating services, and that's why I think these elections should be in May, because now you're duplicating all of these services because of that. But that's something we'll let the courts figure out, and we'll let the the litigators go at it and talk to each other about and see what we'll come up with.
And I'm sure you'll let us know what's going on. And another caller, we're going to take a break first, then we'll come back and we'll take that call. But right now it is 9:48, and you are listening to Rappin' with the Reps. We have Jim Marshall here and also Josh Delivery Kail. And you're listening to Beaver County Radio, Rappin' with the Reps on 1230 WBVP and 1460 WMBA.
The best of Beaver County is easy to discover. It's right here on your radio. Tune in Beaver County Radio or watch the best of Beaver County live on Facebook or YouTube video this and every Thursday from 11 to 11:30. The program is made possible by St. Barnabas. For over 3 years now, the show has been dedicated to shining light on the great things going on right here in your neighborhood and the people that are making it happen. This Thursday, enjoy conversation and insight from an intriguing lineup of guests who are creating excitement and having an impact right here in Beaver County. Your friends and neighbors at St. Barnabas are pleased to support the best of Beaver County. The radio broadcast will also be replayed each week from 11:30 to noon on Sundays on Beaver County Radio. Archived Best of Beaver County videos can be viewed on the WBVP WMBA Facebook page. It's your chance to encounter the best of Beaver County with host Mike Romai this Thursday starting at 11. For more information, visit beavercountyradio.com. Tune in every Saturday morning at 8:30 a.m. for another insightful edition of Living Well, a special segment on Beaver County Radio designed to help you enjoy the best, most fulfilling, and healthiest life possible. Hosted by Dr. Joseph Maroon and Jeff Boast, and presented by St. Barnabas. Living Well, Saturday mornings at 8:30. Right here on Beaver County Radio, WBVP Beaver Falls, WMBA Ambridge, along with 99.3 FM and 95.7 FM.
Wintertime is when performance matters the most. That's because water can turn to ice. This is the Aquaman of Beaver County, Jim Riggio from the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. Whether it's fighting off the evils of underground pipes freezing or taking an extra shift on the ice during a power play, me and my team know how to react when it's on the line. From sinks to rinks, if it needs water this winter, you know you can depend on the Aquamen and women of Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. Click bfwater.net.
It's always the right time to shop the Hopewell Shopping Center, no matter what the season, no matter what the reason. It's truly your neighborhood shopping place with such a large variety of businesses that offer food, shopping, fine dining and quick serving restaurants, personal services, and recreation. The Hopewell Shopping Center will be your one stop for everything you need whenever you need it. Just click on beavercountyradio.com, the Hopewell Shopping Center merchant directory, for a complete look of merchants today, and get shopping at your neighborhood shopping place, the Hopewell Shopping Center.
Now entering our 75th year of serving Beaver County. You're listening to 99.3 FM, 95.7 FM, 1230 WBVP and 1460 WMBA. Part of the St. Barnabas Radio Network.
It's 9:51. I'm Jimi Miller. We are rapping with the reps, and today we have Josh D. Kail, and we also have Representative Jim Marshall. And today, of course, is Thursday, January 12th. We will have some rain off and on today. It's going up to about 53, so a pretty nice day. And if you have any phone calls or if you have any questions for the reps, give us a call, 724-843-1888 or 724-774-1888. And we do have a caller on the line, so let's go to the phone. Hi, welcome to Rappin' with the Reps.
Good morning, Jimi Miller. It's nice to hear your voice after all these years.
Oh, thank you. It's good to be back. It's been a while.
Yes, it's been a long time. I wanted to ask you a quick question. How's your son, Justin, doing?
Justin's doing very well, thank you. He's not doing the TV talk show circuit like David Letterman and Good Morning America and things like that anymore, but he's still cooking once in a while, and he's enjoying life. Thanks for asking.
Well, you're welcome, Jimmy. Listen, hey, Josh, this is Deborah.
Hey, Deborah, how are you?
You know me.
I know. Beaver
yeah,
Borough.
You know me. Hey, congratulations on your on you and Abby's 8th child.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yep.
And I know I said to Curtis I was going to talk politics, but I wanted to get those two things in. I was so excited about wanting to call in, and because I don't get to do that. Hi, Jim Marshall.
Hey, thanks for calling, Deborah.
You're welcome. Well, listen, you guys keep doing a good job. Keep representing Beaver County well, and don't have no questions for you. Just wanted to say congratulations to you, Josh and Abby, and keep doing a good job politically, and I appreciate both you and Jim and all those who are conservatives over at the in Harrisburg. So keep up the good work, keep people accountable, and God bless you all.
Deborah, thank you very much, and thank you for the phone call. We appreciate it. You take care.
Thank you, Deborah.
And you have another phone call? Okay, we have another phone call, so let's go back to the phone. And hi, you're on Rappin' with the Reps. Hi there.
Hey.
Hey.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Are we on?
We're on.
Okay, listen. I'm concerned about property taxes of people of the age of 65. Why isn't something being done about that? Here we are paying for taxes like school taxes, like our local building. And in addition, we have to have that Tosmer Hall down in Midland. Being double taxed, that's wrong. The other thing, the size of the legislature. Somebody's got to do something to reduce this expense to the taxpayers. And Jim, one more thing. We've talked about this in the past. These excessively bright headlights coming down the road at me from vehicles.
Yes.
Something's got to be done with that because they're too bright, they're dangerous, annoying, the whole ball of wax. I can't get anybody to get on my bandwagon to get something addressed to that. You got 3 issues. If you want to ask Frank to extend the show another hour, be my guest.
Okay.
For taking my call.
You know, we're chuckling here on the set because Jim was actually he was talking through that particular issue.
He was
just a couple minutes ago off the air. So it's something that he is very much aware of and has been thinking through and trying to navigate through. But I'll let Jim go ahead and answer it beyond that.
Sure. On headlights, I've had discussions with state troopers. I've had discussions with the garages that inspect the vehicles. They do inspect for direction, intensity, to make sure that there's adequate lumens of brightness to make sure that it's not too excessive. But you have instances where these days the vehicles have new LED lights. There's people that put aftermarket lighting on. I've had actually more calls on wide tires than on bright headlights. But you'll have individuals that have off-road vehicles that will put a wider tire than legally allowed, and I assume that they must then change the tires before they go in for their annual inspection and then put the wide ones back on. But I've had that conversation with law enforcement, what can be done, and it's a difficult situation when police really have so many obligations now. It's difficult to find out what vehicles have maybe too much lighting or too wide of tires, and it's challenging. As far as the other two, I have voted to reduce the size of the legislature a number of times. One person can't do it. It takes 102 in the House. It takes 26 in the Senate, and the governor's vote. We've had it on opportunities to put that on the ballot. We've had opportunities to do it ourselves, and taxing is an issue. When I remember we had legislation that took individuals at a certain age, I believe it was 70 and older, at a certain income, and I believe that income at that time was over, I think 40,000 was the chosen number for that. And again, it's something that you have to get the majority to vote for.
And it's tough, something like headlights. I think how would you even regulate that? I understand what he's talking about.
Oh, it's in law. It's in law that the headlights have to be at a certain amount of brightness.
Lumen, and like you said, inspection stations check that out, right?
Right, they do. And newer cars, you really can't make too many adjustments on those like they did with the
older cars
our
where you
days, take the bulb right out.
Yeah,
you can't even access them anymore. I think you have to take the battery out of a lot of cars just to change the headlight.
Or maybe a fender, take that off, whatever. Right. It's crazy.
But
hey, you know what? Time has gone too fast. I got to wrap this up already.
Right.
I also wanted to talk to you about your legislation for license plates, too.
Well, motorists deserve quality. And whether it's the quality of the vehicle that's coming at them to make sure that they're inspected and the lights aren't too bright, and to make sure that they should expect quality from PennDOT.
Yes.
We should have license plates that are legible throughout a guaranteed lifespan, and I have legislation out that puts 10 years. The license plate should have an adequate reflectability, and it's good for law enforcement and it's good for motorists as well. We've had motorists come in that paint their license plates because they're deteriorating way too fast. We need to be on top of that.
Well, I think that's great. We're going to wrap things up right now. We have been rapping with the reps, Jim Marshall and Josh D. Kail. Thank you guys very, very much. I want to commend you guys. I want to thank you for your hard work. I know it's tough. It's like you got to go to all these events, and people say, well, if you don't come to the event, then what are you doing? And then you're going back and forth to Harrisburg. You're dealing with 8 kids. I mean, it's a lot, and I commend you guys. Thank you for your work and for all that you do for us.
Thank you.
Much appreciated. I'm Jimmy Miller, and coming up at 10:10, we're going to be talking to Anna Marie Gabriel. She has a new book out, and it's called ID. You're listening to Beaver County Radio, 1230 WBVP and 1460 WMBA.
The best of Beaver County is easy to discover. It's right here on your radio. Tune in Beaver County Radio or watch the Best of Beaver County live on Facebook or YouTube video this and every Thursday from 11 to 11:30. The program is made possible by St. Barnabas. For over 3 years now, the show has been dedicated to shining light on the great things going on right here in your neighborhood and the people that are making it happen. This Thursday, enjoy conversation and insight from an intriguing lineup of guests who are creating excitement and having an impact right here in Beaver County. Your friends and neighbors at St. Barnabas are pleased to support the Best of Beaver County. The radio broadcast will also be replayed each week from 11:30 to noon on Sundays on Beaver County Radio. Archived Best of Beaver County videos can be viewed on the WBVP WMBA Facebook page. It's your chance to encounter the best of Beaver County with host Mike Romai this Thursday starting at 11. For more information, visit beavercountyradio.com.